Hello to all of the sportos, motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, dickheads, and all of you who adore us.
The dickheads is the icing on the cake
I
of that
know,
list,
I
along with
know.
sport. I'm like, I want to meet a sport. Sluts, bloods. They all adore him.
I know. I wish I would have said it like her, but you know
She's
what?
so good. You can't be
so
Edie
good.
McClurg.
I
so.
cannot.
Nobody
compete.
can. Yeah.
No one could. But hello, everyone. Welcome to another brand new episode of Did That Age Well? And I want to start before we get into the episode, of course, on Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I know that you've heard me talk on this podcast before about how awesome Spider Moving Company is. I just wanted to share that yesterday they actually did help me move into my new place, and I couldn't be happier with how great of a job they did. They got there not just on time, but a little early. They helped me move all of my heavy stuff and made it look super easy. I had a bunch of random stuff around the house that still kind of needed to be packed up, and they helped me out. No complaints. And I'm just so happy and relieved that they worked so hard for me and made this whole stressful process way less stressful. So I can now say proudly that I can personally vouch for Spider Moving and Storage. They did a phenomenal job, and I couldn't recommend them enough. So if you want to get a free quote for local move, cross-country move, residential, commercial, go ahead and visit spidermovingcompany.com. And you can also follow them on Instagram at Spider Moving Co. And I'm pretty sure that those are correct, but if they are incorrect, listen to whatever is in the show notes and not to me. And yeah, thank you so much, Spider, for sponsoring Dude IDK Studios. You guys rock. Happy to have you as a partner. Okay, and without further ado, my guest today, my new friend, you know her from CityCast Denver. You know her as the most popular kid in school in Denver. It's Bree Davies. Welcome.
Hi, Molly. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here.
That ad read was stellar, by the way.
Wow, thank you so much.
You were just like off the cuff. It was great.
Look, it's very recent experience, you know?
You're doing a
Thinking
good
of
job.
how I felt just yesterday
When you were moving.
when I was moving. It's kind of a core memory at this time.
I
You know
love
what
it.
I mean? Yeah,
well, now
thank
I know
you.
who to go to. That was just a great ad read. Good
Oh
job.
my gosh. Well, I'm so glad. I really genuinely hope that you do next time if you have to move, which I hope that you don't.
Well, I
because-
like to have something in my. I don't, but I'd like to have that in my back pocket when someone says, "Hey, I need
do
a
you
moving."
know of
You
a
know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm
totally.
the I know a guy person. Like, so I
and
love to
that's
have
an
a guy.
important person to be is
Yeah.
the I know a guy person.
Yeah.
And kind of exactly why you should be doing what you do professionally.
I know too many people in this
Too many
city.
people. There are so many, and you know them.
I do. I
Yeah.
know them all.
Yeah. So what have you been up to? What's going on with CityCast? What's going on with you?
Well, I just got back from a trip to Paris and Copenhagen, which was
Welcome
incredible.
back.
Thank
So
you.
cool.
It was, yes, I don't know, lifetime achievement. I've never
Yeah.
traveled that far.
Oh my God, that's so exciting.
Yeah. So my husband, Greg, and I and our son went on a little trip. I met my husband out there because he was on tour already. He's a musician. And we stayed with my cousins, Patrick and Macarena, in Copenhagen too.
Cool.
And it was just a really lovely experience. So I just got back. So I'm
my
actually just getting back into work. And so if folks have been listening to
Wow.
CityCast Denver, I have not disappeared. I'm still here, and you will hear me soon enough. But yeah, just, getting back into the groove.
Yeah, totally.
So
I can't wait for the rumors and conspiracy theories to
I
start
know.
about where you've been.
they're like, did they kill Bree?
They killed Bree. But you're
left
not
her
going
in
to
the-
hear about it because they can't talk
She
about it on
just
CityCast Denver.
disappeared.
She just, I don't know where she went.
No, they're very nice. We have a very generous vacation policy. And so
Wonderful.
we all get to take trips during the year. And it's
That's great.
it's one of the lovely parts about working there.
That is so cool. And you have great coworkers who
Yeah.
can, do stuff.
We're all kind of utility players in a
Totally.
certain sense. So
Yeah.
we can all host, which is nice.
That is great.
But that is the main thing I do there. So.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, congrats and
Thanks.
welcome back.
Thank you.
Do you feel like it gave you a little travel bug? Like, ooh, now I want to be a lady who travels?
A little bit, yeah,
Yeah.
because I have to be honest with you, I'm not super travel oriented, but my
Yeah.
husband is, because
Okay.
he's a touring musician. This is what
Yeah.
he's done his whole life, and he's the one that really was like, "Hey, I'm already gonna be out there,
Right.
so that's like a plane ticket taken care of.
Of course.
So why not you and Montgomery come out and then the cool part was it was like a short trip flight wise, and it wasn't too expensive from Paris to Copenhagen. And we had a free place to stay with my cousins. And
cool.
it was phenomenal. So,
oh my God.
yeah, so I think we'll be doing more traveling for sure.
I think you will too. And I didn't realize that your cousins lived there. I thought you
Yeah.
were all meeting up there.
No,
So
my
you
cousins
have family
are.
there.
I do.
So cool.
My cousin Patrick and his wife Macarena are both engineers.
Cool.
And they met in engineering school in Copenhagen. He's from Grand Junction. She's from Leon, Spain. And they came back to the States for a while, and she got a really great job offer. And they were like, we're having a kid. It's a really cool place to raise kids.
Totally.
So, all the different, it's a very different culture in Copenhagen than America, obviously. But I was like, you guys are raising your kid in a culture that's neither of yours. And
Right.
how do you feel about that? And they were both like, it's kind of awesome.
They were like, it rocks.
Like you
should
literally
consider
walked. No, truly. Like
Yeah.
we walked to a park, and their son Edward's like 15 months old. And so he was just in a stroller and he was asleep. And Macarena just put him under a tree
That's awesome.
and walked over to the playground. And I was like, you're going to leave
You can just leave him under
the
a tree
baby?
like that?
She goes, well, yeah. I mean,
Well, yeah.
it's okay here. And so it was
Whoa.
a really cool experience.
That is so cool.
Highly recommend seeing somewhere outside of what will
Yeah.
make you think differently about. I mean, I think about this city that I live in every day, and so it was cool
Yeah.
to see other cities and how the cultures function within those
Wow.
cities.
That is so beautiful.
Yeah, it was cool.
I love that. So you could say you kind of had your own little Ferris Bueller's Day off.
Oh my
You had your
God.
own little vacay.
I watched. Okay.
Okay.
I will get into this, but I did watch it on the plane. And
Oh,
but
you
I
did?
yes,
Oh,
but
that's-
I'm saying that as I've watched it hundreds of times.
Right, of course.
So, but I was like, oh, I'll just watch it on the plane, and then I watched
Yeah.
it when I got home, and then
Oh,
so
fun.
I could watch this movie every day.
Over and over and over. I could too, honestly.
It's a great
so easy to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a John Hughes fan, and I grew up on his movies,
Yeah.
and the feelings of his movies are just very comforting, and I mean, my favorite movie of his is 16 Candles, but like it's
Really?
highly problematic.
Your favorite is 16 Candles.
I
Oh
just
my
love
God.
the
Bree Davies
characters.
is canceled.
I know, it's terrible. And but this is the first John Hughes movie I ever saw.
Oh, really?
So
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Okay, so you have like a very close relationship to John Hughes then.
I do, and I
Yeah.
didn't realize that until I realized the movies that he had
Yeah.
were in. Like my favorite Christmas. I'm a Christmas person.
Oh, yeah.
And my favorite Christmas movie of all time is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation,
Of
which is a
course.
John Hughes movie. And
Yeah.
if you watch that and you watch Ferris Bueller, there's a lot, even Home Alone, you
Yes.
see the things that he does in every movie. He's very good with sound design. And there's some of my favorite character tropes in all his
Yeah.
movies, like Clueless Dad. I
Yeah.
love a Clueless Dad.
Oh my gosh, I love a dad that's just an oaf, just a dumb oaf.
Ferris's dad is like the most clueless dad, and he's got
Yeah.
just he plays it so
Yes,
well.
he does.
Just coasting through life, being
Yeah.
an ad exec or whatever. Just
totally. You got to increase your ad budget.
Oh.
I'm like, this guy.
and then he closes the door, and
Yeah.
but he has these like really low key, amazing lines. Like
Yeah.
the very end. Dad and mom meet at the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Jeannie's inside, and mom's like, "Oh my God, I had to pick her up at the police station." Da 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 da. And the
Yeah.
dad just goes, "I think we should shoot her." And then like, and I was like, much of who I outwardly am
Yeah.
came from these characters in John Hughes movies for sure.
Totally.
sure.
And I think especially when I think about movies like Home Alone and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, the hijinks, the goofs, the gags.
The gags, the devices that he uses, like he uses so many pieces of older technology to do these incredible things. In Ferris Bueller, it's the phone.
Of course.
The phone is everything.
Yep. And the intercom.
The intercom.
The intercom.
Which again is like Home Alone. You see similar things. Like it's just, I don't know. It's a throwback, but it feels timeless in a really interesting way.
Yeah, there's so much like so much young ingenuity. There's so much like, how do I take all of these at the time modern tools and use them to be an absolute shithead.
Ferris Bueller's keyboard
that
makes all the coughing noises. The tape he has playing of the snoring.
Right.
Like
the tape at the doorbell.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, it's so, I could like recite that whole thing. It's so good.
It's so good. Yeah, I think that for me, one thing I love about John Hughes is really kind of these like more of the family fun style movies. I'm less of a fan of the ones that like really lean into the teen angst, like 16 Candles,
Breakfast
no
Club.
offense. Breakfast Club.
Sure.
Like I'm kind of just like, okay, yeah, like it's hard being a Gen X teen. We got it. Okay, blah blah blah. But this one I feel like it hits that sweet spot of like,
that's a great point.
Being very like sympathetic to the teen struggle and this idea of being young, and adults are just kind of like out to ruin a good time.
Yeah. Or your big sister's out to ruin your good time.
Or your big sister is my God, the way that the whole time you're like, she's a narc, she's a narc, and then
she saves him. And I identify with her so much because I am the older sister that was a narc.
Oh, yeah.
And my brother is the like rambunctious, always getting in trouble.
Yep.
My brother never ratted on me one time.
Wow.
Never one time. And I probably ratted on him a million times. And he's like a solid like... And I was like, man, I really was Jeannie Bueller.
Wow.
And
that's
just like
tough
her,
to
like,
reckon with.
She's just a bitch.
She's just a bitch.
She's a bitch to everyone. She's a bitch to her parents. She's a bitch to her brother. She's a bitch to Grace, to Principal Rooney's secretary.
Yeah.
Like, and then you only see her soften a little bit when she falls in love with Charlie Sheen for 5 minutes.
At the police station. Because he says, you do your eye makeup wrong or whatever.
He goes, I just love this scene. This vignette is so, you don't have to see the movie to enjoy this moment.
Yeah.
He says, oh my God, you wear too much eye makeup. And she just gives him this like, what the fuck look. And he goes, my sister wears too much makeup. And people think she's a whore. And he's like so straightforward about it. But he's also the only truth teller to her in the whole movie.
That is true. I don't like that they established his wisdom and his ability to give sage advice by being like, look, he clocked her, that mug. He said, girl, that's not it. I don't love that, but I do love that she did fall in love with the only person who would tell her the truth.
Yeah, that would just be real to her face and be like, maybe you need to get over it and leave your brother alone and mind your own business.
Yeah, and maybe it's not actually a personal affront to you that he's more fun than
but he's just coasting through life.
Yeah, when he's like, you could do that too. Like, you could skip class.
He would support her.
Like, he would be like, yeah, let's all hang out. You know what I mean?
That scene you mentioned at the end where he's like facing off with Rooney at his back door. His parents are about to come and she opens the door and saves him is such a sweet moment that you see a sibling relationship. It's a really cool example of how a sibling relationship can really work sometimes, even though weirdly they got together in that movie.
I know that is
you know what I mean, behind the scenes.
That is
Matthew
a weird
Broderick
thing
and Jennifer
when
Grey.
People who
play
siblings in movies then end up dating.
But I mean, other than that, they just played those characters so well.
Yeah.
So
and thank God they didn't really look that much like each other.
No.
So, at least that part, it's like, okay, we knew that they were siblings because they told us that, not because we were like, oh, they look the same. And then they ended up dating. That would have been a bummer.
And the parents met on that movie.
That is crazy.
And got married and had kids. And isn't that...
Wow.
I don't know. I love those
Love
kind
is
of
in
stories.
the air.
Truly, I guess, on Ferris Bueller's Day.
I guess it is. How could it not be, though? It's so romantic to play hooky,
It is.
So romantic to just, like, have some silly hijinks and say, what are we going to do today?
And does he not seem like it's like the most thought out, planned day, but it's played as, like, everything's on a whim, which kind of also makes me nostalgic for a time when you couldn't like just like have to get in line on, you know, like on a queue on an app to get something done, to go do the ticketing, Like he walked up to the box office and got tickets at Wrigley Field, and like, you know, like it was a little bit of a, oh, that was a better time, even though none of it's probably realistic.
He wasn't making a reservation under a fake name on Open Table or whatever. You know what I mean?
The whole Abe Froman Sausage King of Chicago would not play that well on and through. And nothing is worse than watching a character in a movie or on TV do something on the internet. Like, can you imagine how terrible
that would
that
be? He'd be like, the entire movie would just be people like on their phones being like, oh no, like Resi's telling me I can't do that because I have to create a new login. You know what I mean? Like that would
I just logged into my school portal and just counted myself absent. Like end of the movie. Movie's over.
But you know what I did love actually in this movie, and I think that it's probably because of the weird nostalgia element, when he was on his computer and he was fixing the number of absences.
Nine times.
9
times. I don't remember him being absent 9 times. I love that scene. The computer scenes are funny because I wonder if younger folks have any frame of reference for what they're looking at.
No,
like,
probably not.
I learned how to type on a brown computer. I mean, I was there.
Yeah.
But like, it looks so crazy archaic. There's like that scene. And then there's the scene where Ferris is like, there's like a naked woman on his computer when he's like talking to Cameron. And that, I would say, is the only time. There's a lot of rarities in this movie as an 80s movie. And one of them is it doesn't have boobs for no reason in it. Yeah. A lot of 80s movies are just boobs for no reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this one, the only time you have boobs for no reason is
the computer.
The computer.
And it's sort of like, well, yeah, I mean, that probably would be what would be
something
on
a teenage boy would be doing.
Yeah.
And it's not as like, it's not as distracting as you find in like Revenge of the Nerds, or, you know, or even in 16 Candles, there's like this crazy boob scene for no reason.
It totally. And it's like, it's just there. It's not like he's like, oh God, you know,
he's just like talking on the phone. Like, it's so good. It's so good.
Oh, it's so funny. You know, okay. Have you seen the movie The Mountainhead?
No.
Okay. It just recently, it got nominated for an Emmy. It was a straight to streaming movie on HBO, and it was like a compelling concept, but the entire time it's just like people looking at their phones being like, oh my God, did you see this? And it was just like, okay, I'm tired of people standing around and being like, did you see this?
It's the worst part of real life interaction. I don't want to see it.
I don't need to see it
in a movie. Like, it doesn't work as a device the way an old school landline telephone does.
The way that Cameron was able to just use his goofy voice.
Oh, I love it.
To disguise that. Like, that could never happen.
They're prank calling the principal.
When was the last time you could prank call a principal?
I don't know, but I loved it. We did like slumber party prank calls.
Oh, I loved that.
I miss that. We used to go down to the payphone like a couple blocks from my best friend's house, and there was like a little grocery store. This was the 80s in Brighton, Colorado, which is tiny. There was a little market, Swartzy's, and we would go to that payphone and prank call the babysitter that was watching us. Now I think as an older, like, you know, I became a babysitter. Obviously, I was like, God, we're a bunch of little dicks.
Yeah.
Like,
totally.
Just torturing a person that's in charge of babysitting us.
Yeah. Because they were the ones who were there to ruin the fun. Unfortunately.
True.
Unfortunately. We all become grown-ups who ruin fun.
This poor 15-year-old girl that was probably babysitting us.
Oh, God bless her.
I know. Wherever she is.
Wherever she is. Thank you for your service. A woman who's probably only 5 years older
than
you, right?
I know. That's what I'm thinking about right now. I'm like, oh my God.
You're like, we are peers now.
Truly. I'm like, kids I used to babysit are like married and divorced now.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean?
They have kids who have kids. Yeah. You know? Yeah, totally.
It's nuts.
So funny. Were you like a school skipper? We know you were a prank caller, but were you a school skipper?
Not really. I was kind of a goody in terms of just like, I didn't like getting in trouble.
Oh,
and that's where like truly my brother is like I could care less. He went to like 10 different schools. Like, school is whatever. And I was always like by the book very much. I remember when I played hooky a couple of times, I was terrified.
Oh no.
And I went to George Washington High School, and we wouldn't really go very far. So we'd like go
Right.
to the Denny's, and if you went to the Denny's, it was like surefire you're gonna get caught because they would
Of
just
course.
call the school.
Yeah, they're like, you are
They're like-
obviously a teen. You obviously go to school down the
It
street.
is Wednesday at
Yeah.
1:00, and you're here smoking a cigarette because it
Yeah.
was 1996.
Of course.
And you're drinking a coffee because that's what you could afford. I'm calling the school.
This is
So,
you're definitely a student.
Were you a ditcher?
Not in high school, but I was in college.
Oh, college, yeah, different story.
college. Oh my God. I love to skip school. I loved any time that anyone was like, I kind of want to skip class. They would call me and be like, hey, do you want to skip class? I'd be like, of course.
Hey, I know we're paying for school now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, very cool. It's very it's definitely giving like I went to private liberal arts school because I'm like, what is money and time?
I mean, I went to what was then like the low cost city college, which was
Right.
Metro at the time, and
Yeah.
now it's Metropolitan State
Uh-huh.
University or whatever.
Yep,
But
yep.
it was literally downtown.
Yeah.
You might as well there was a bar on campus.
Right.
Like,
It's like you expect us to go to class?
truly, I need to go smoke cigarettes.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Anywhere but right here in this class. But I do think that I probably would have been better off if I had gone to class more. Let's say
Same.
that. Like I still did fine. Like I did fine. I graduated on time, whatever.
Oh,
but
it took me 8 years to get a
Girl.
bachelor's degree in journalism, which
Wow.
you know what? You don't even need a degree to be doing what I'm doing.
I was
But
just gonna say it worked out for you. Look,
Uh-huh.
you majored in journalism.
I
You work
mean-
in media. So look at
Look
you.
at me
Look
now.
at you now.
only
To
took,
all the haters. Look at her
took
now.
8 years,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? It's not a race.
I know it's
It's
truly.
just not a
I had to be
race.
an alcoholic in the middle of that and get sober to
Absolutely.
get out of school.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
you know,
So you know what? Here we
Here-
made it.
like I always say, everybody's path is different. You don't know what it's going to
course.
look like. There's
Yeah.
no straight line.
Mhm.
Just do what you can do.
We do what we can.
You know.
I remember when I was a sophomore in college, my first semester of sophomore year, when I was just drinking like a fish, and I was taking the minimum number of credits to be
Oh,
a full-time student, and every day I'd be like, I can't go to class. It's too much. It's just too much. But then the times when I like got it together and I was taking like more than 18 credits, and I was like, okay, I just gotta like
Just hammer it
we
out.
gotta just hammer it out. I almost feel as though like when I had more flexibility, I had less motivation to go to class.
Yeah,
Do
for
you know
sure.
what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think about it now as like an adult and being like,
Mm.
man, I would be pissed at 18-year-old me. Like, what are
Yeah.
you doing, man?
Like
This
just
shit's not that hard.
it's just not that hard.
You're taking math for liberal arts majors or whatever. Like you're literally
like you're doing high school level algebra,
true,
and this is
at-
college.
At that,
Yeah.
maybe like, and you're getting a degree in journalism.
Right.
Not to diss all of my friends with journalism degrees, but
of
like,
course, but you know,
it's not the hardest degree.
famously not the hardest.
No, I mean, shout out to my friends with like hospitality management degrees,
Yeah.
but which again, love you all that have those.
love
they're
and
up there.
light. Hope you're making. You're probably
You're probably
making a lot
making
of
more.
money. Probably making a lot more money than we are.
I remember that I wanted to go to hair school, like
Yeah.
right out of high school, and my parents were like, "No, you have to go to real college," which is such a bullshit
Like,
thing to say. Like
whatever.
that's not a real career.
Yeah.
And then I remember like talking to my girlfriends that were hairdressers, and like they were making way more money than I was. They were doing way harder physical work. I mean, being
Yeah.
a hairdresser is hard.
Yeah.
But like they were making way more money than I ever made in journalism.
For sure. And I'm sure they still are.
Oh yeah.
And also, they were, I mean, no offense, but like they were getting paychecks after like, you know, a couple of years.
yeah.
And
I was up until this current job I have with CityCast. I was never a salaried employee with like
Wow.
benefits or anything in any journalism job
yeah.
ever. It's actually why I left journalism for 4 years, because I was like, I can't live like this
Yeah.
anymore.
I'm like, I'm grown. I
I
need
can't
health
make
insurance.
$12,000 a year. Like what, dude? But you get free concert tickets. Like,
Right.
well,
Yeah.
okay,
It
cool.
It seems really cool for a little bit.
It does until you want to like make moves in your life and you're like, okay,
You're like, oh,
I
no.
want to like buy a house and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's not going to happen when I'm making like $50 a story or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
And kids, they're expensive.
yeah, totally. I mean, that
There's-
didn't happen for me till I had a full-time like
Right.
real journalism job. And that didn't happen till I was 40.
Yeah.
So,
So,
not to say it's not out there.
of course.
Again, everybody's path
If you're
is
if you're a young aspiring journalist,
please do
just
it.
do it.
Please do it. I have so much respect and love for the profession, but
yes, of course.
but I also like worked retail
Mhm.
through all most of that as well. So I was always working
Wow.
retail and doing freelance work at the same time. So I'm like a 17-year veteran of retail, and I have such deep respect for
Of course.
folks that do that work. And those are some of my best, oldest friends in the world are the
Yeah.
folks I met folding shirts and, you know,
Totally.
selling makeup and dealing with bananas people. And, you know, it's like a real training ground for life when you have to do those kinds of
No kidding.
customer service jobs. But,
Yeah.
you know,
No kidding. And look at you, one of God's strongest soldiers.
look at me now. I
Look at
host
you
a
now.
podcast.
Look at that. And
It's great, except for when you tell people outside of the podcast, we're like,
Yeah.
what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I host a podcast. They're like, for a job?
They're
I'm
like,
all,
that's a
yes,
job.
I get that so much. And I'm all, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a job.
It's a
I actually,
job.
that's what I asked them when they came to me and
Mhm.
I was offered the job. I was like, podcasting?
You're like, that's
Who
not a
makes
job.
I had a podcast out of an
Yeah.
anarchist bookstore where
Yeah.
we definitely didn't make any money.
Totally.
But we actually like have this is a company, and that's what
Right.
they do for this whole thing. Is we're a network of podcasts.
Right.
It's pretty incredible.
It is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Honestly, that anyone makes money in podcasting.
I didn't know anybody did.
Yeah. Only like Amy Poehler makes money in podcasting.
Right. I mean, we could get into the celebrity podcast
Oh.
world versus the everyone else, but that's a whole other
That's
show.
a whole other
That's a
show.
whole other
I
show.
know someone right now who they don't listen to this podcast, so it doesn't matter. But they are trying to get into podcasting to make money, and I'm like, let me know how that goes. Like,
Yeah.
Nick is laughing off.
I
mic.
know. I'm like,
oh,
and these guys, dude, IDK, they hustle so hard.
they are
like,
working
oh
all day,
my God.
every day.
Like it's not like, ooh, I'm in it to make $1 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd all love to.
Wouldn't
but
that be great? And
it's
we
like-
all deserve to.
yeah, but
But-
it's like any creative profession. It's not
yeah.
the end product is consumed without thinking about
Mm-hmm.
so much work that goes into the creation of it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But that's the road we chose.
And here we are.
And here we are.
And here we are.
Back to the movie.
So let's go back to the movie. Okay, so this actually is, I think, a nice segue into what I think is one of my favorite things about Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which is kind of the nihilism of it all. It is so Gen X in the way that it's like, yeah, so we got to enjoy being young because after this, I mean,
We're never going to
conversation-
see each other again.
Yeah, the conversation that Sloane and Cameron are having where they're laughing about they're like, I guess I'll go to college. And then it's like, then do what? And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably be mean to kids, you know?
I didn't think about that. So I'm a Gen X cusp person,
yeah.
right? I was born in 1980, and so I don't really identify with millennials,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't necessarily identify more with Gen X. But it isn't until I start really examining the popular culture that I've consumed my whole life that I really see what you're saying. Because
Right.
to me, it's like there it is cheerful nihilism, maybe a little bit,
Yeah.
and but Ferris Bueller is like almost the opposite of that,
Yeah.
in that he is gonna do whatever he's gonna do, and he's gonna have a really good time doing it. And Cameron, on the other hand, is like, this world sucks, and that is such a Gen X attitude. Like, I mean, I could get into this. I talk about it all the time on the show, but my son, who's 4 years old, is obsessed with Nirvana.
Oh.
And I love Nirvana too, but hearing the lyrics again as an adult and thinking about them in a different way, I'm like, God, this is such a bummer.
Right.
Like, everything sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
You're like,
never,
no
whatever, never mind.
Like, no wonder he.
I know, like, I mean, truly, but also like, what was there to look forward to? I don't know. It's like every generation has this, what do we have to look forward to? But
Right.
I don't know. That's an interesting thing. I didn't think about the Gen X-ness of this movie.
Right. There's this quality of that I think is so John Hughes, that it's like, if you're a teen, you have to make the most of every moment, because one day you're going to be an adult.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
It does. It really
so
does.
you just have to make the most of it while you can. I guess, okay, here's my question for you, Bree.
Yeah.
Do you think that Ferris Bueller went on to be the same carefree, do whatever he wants and chase his bliss kind of guy? Or do you think that adulthood, college, career, all of that made him into a disgruntled adult like everyone else?
I mean, I think based on the like class indicators we get in John Hughes movies in general, but especially in this movie, I bet Ferris Bueller just fucking coasted.
He's doing fine.
He's an exec. He was an exec somewhere.
He's a nepo baby.
Yeah,
he's working at his dad's ad executive company.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a creative director because I like the vibe.
Yes, he's a vibes guy, and I bet he did great. And I bet he just coasted on that, and he married a hot woman.
Oh, yeah,
and,
totally.
You know, lives in upper middle class. He probably moved to LA or something, but I think he did. I think he did just fine.
And you think he's happy and fulfilled?
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, good.
Because again, like I keep talking about my husband, but my husband is this like very, just like naturally happy person.
Yeah.
Just like the outlook is always pretty good.
Yeah.
He's always just having a good time. And he'll tell you like, it's not that easy. I have to really try. Some days are harder than others, but I always just try to look for the positive. And so I see a lot of that in the Ferris Bueller attitude is like, it is truly, it is a choice, the attitude.
Yeah.
But also I truly believe people are born with the kernel of who they really are, and I identify with Cameron so much more, and with Jeannie, with his sister. Like,
totally,
I would love to be the Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, wouldn't we?
Or
all?
I'd love to be Sloane Peterson, who's like just effortlessly gorgeous,
just so cool,
and just so cool,
so cool.
But like, I am a Cameron, Jeannie, nihilist, cynical, angry,
of course,
bratty person. Her brattiness, Jeannie's brattiness is like, it informed so much of who I was as a teenager. And I didn't realize it till watching it again. And I was like, this is how I acted all the time.
It's so funny, too, because she's still likable, even though she's
a
you
bitch. Love her.
We love her.
I love her. Because she's
still
like
rooting for her,
yes,
you know?
She's overacting like all the time. Like everything's super dramatic. The phone call to the police.
God.
I'm very cute.
I'm cute.
I am very alone. And I'm very protective of my body. It's so like, I don't know. It's just she's such a good visceral character.
Yeah.
But
I mean, she and Ferris both kind of, I think they're both self-centered.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but
most of the best characters are, honestly.
Of course.
You got to be I mean.
Duh. If a character is always thinking of other people, what are they? What's that character? Boring. They're boring. If you're obsessed with everyone else, then you're just the dean of students. Which I also love that basically they show us that his job is so unimportant that he can leave the office and just try and track down a kid.
Kind of dick around all day.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's talk about him really quick because I think that's where the did that age well question comes very prominently. And I wanted to talk about this at the top. But so Jeffrey Jones that plays Ed Rooney, the principal, unfortunately is a sexual predator, was caught with child sexual abuse materials, soliciting a minor. So that part of this did not age well.
When he's like sneaking into the house, when he's going in the doggy door, when he's sort of like, you know, sneaking up on an underage girl.
Yeah, it changes the context.
A child. That really kind of changes the context.
But I will say, like, I know this separating art from the artist is like not a conversation I want to have right now, but he does play this character so well that it is like becomes an archetype of a school principal.
Yes.
Like you see him in other principals later on.
Yes.
And his interplay with his secretary Grace is like
incredible. Some
of the best scenes in that movie.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yes. I love it. I love that he has been so disempowered by children.
And by his secretary.
Who is so cunty. I love her. She's amazing.
He's like, I don't trust him any farther than I can throw him. And she goes, well, I wouldn't be throwing anybody with your bad back, Ed. He makes you look like an ass is what he does, Ed. And she's just like so good at cutting him down.
Yeah.
And but his like yeah, his drive to just find this kid that's ruining. It's again, it's like all the miserable people let themselves be made miserable by this kid who's having a great time.
That like, it's that idea that like someone else having fun is taking something away from you.
Yes.
It's the scarcity mindset of fun.
Rooney and Jeannie are on the same trajectory.
Where they're like, I take it personally that he gets to do whatever he wants. And it's like, well, maybe you could also do whatever you want.
It's really, and that's where Charlie Sheen comes in and says, it's kind of a state of mind, man.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
Guy that's like so cracked out. He looks so busted.
He really does. I think that Charlie Sheen just woke up and showed up as is.
I know.
That day.
You
know what I mean? He didn't have to go in the makeup chair. They said,
they were like,
part fits. Just go ahead and lean into that. Yeah, so exactly. I found that this movie really was not so much about the stuff that happens, the plot, if you will, stuff that happens. But it really is more about this sort of like, I wouldn't call it a hero's journey because I don't think that Ferris really changes that much, but he changes other people around him.
Yeah.
And that to me is like such a cool part of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, that Cameron learns how to stand up to his dad, let his hair down a little bit.
I love their friendship.
It is so
You can
sweet.
really see their friendship and that they've been friends for a long time, at least in the storyline. And he really understands the world that Cameron has to inhabit. His house is like a museum. It's very cold.
Totally.
You can't touch anything.
And like his family's so messed up, you know? That's also a classic like John Hughes. It's like, they're like, my parents don't understand me. They're divorced.
Yeah. Which is, again, I listened to this podcast called Bandsplain where she...
Oh, I love that
show. You love
show.
Bandsplain?
Yeah.
Yes, you sound like it's great. But she dissects bands and artists like from their beginning, like from the very beginning. And one of the things that she said, I think it was a quote that she actually got from Time Magazine, but it was like, grunge is like, the Gen X is the sound of, kids coming out of divorce. Like it was that first age group where parents were really like... I mean, the women had the opportunity
to
get
for the first time to get divorced.
Yeah. And so I think that's why it plays it's such a big part of plots in John Hughes movies sometimes. But there's also the nuclear families always together and the parents love each other. And, like 16 Candles, the parents love each other. National Lampoon's parents love each other.
Yeah.
Pretty in Pink's a little different, and Breakfast Club is a little different because it's really about the teenagers. But I think Home Alone is the greatest example of when you're like, it's like these people, we don't even know what they do for a living, but they have an incredible home.
Oh yeah,
everybody's happy. Like I mean, the most
allegedly.
I know it's true. We don't see the dark parts, but like, I mean, Ferris Bueller's parents, like they're both clueless ding dongs.
Yeah.
Although his mom's like the power broker, real estate agent.
Totally. But like, they have very little common sense and they've
really failed their way up kind of.
They really did. They're just like hot suburban Chicago people
who are making great money.
Oh yeah.
And
they have 2 kids and a dog and they're just living life, loving life.
Yeah, it's interesting this archetype of the family that John Hughes sort of put into play. But you're right, that the troubled kids are usually like from divorce.
Or as Cameron says, it's like with the car. My dad loves the car and he hates
his
my
wife. He doesn't even drive it. He just rubs it with a diaper. And also that I feel I should know the architect of the house that is like Cameron's family. I can't remember.
It's like a famous house.
It's a famous house. And that showroom that his dad has,
so
you can
weird.
just feel, you can palpably feel what an absolute dick Cameron's dad is. Like it's the friend's house where you're terrified of their parents.
You can't touch anything.
Yes.
You're like, don't touch that.
Don't piss off these people's parents. Like
totally.
I'm sure Ferris is like the nightmare friend to Cameron's
of course.
parents.
They're always like, you shouldn't be hanging out with that kid. He's going to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
You know?
Even though he's like not really a troublemaker.
Right. He's sort of a little, he's not causing harm to anyone. That's the thing. Like, he's causing trouble in like the fun way.
He's not like the bad
actually hurting anyone.
Right.
No one's getting hurt here.
No, he's not like your friend who deals drugs or like your friend.
Yeah, totally. He's not like.
Not that my friends that deal drugs are bad people. They're lovely people. I was just
going to say they're also doing a service that someone's got. It's a job and someone has to do it. And
all my friends that were drug dealers in high school and college are great parents now. Just want to put that out there.
Seriously, it takes what it takes. You know what I mean?
Truly.
We all get there. Again, it's not a race. But it is like, yeah, he's not hurting anyone. In fact, he's bringing joy to all of the strangers that he interacts with.
Let's talk about the parade scene then.
Let's talk about the parade.
That scene, I just want to say I hadn't watched this movie in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this was my comfort movie as a kid. We had a little video store up the street from our house about 3 blocks called Video Movie Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Jim and his husband, I can't remember his name, ran it. It was like our haven. They were friends with our parents. We could rent whatever. There was a rule. We could rent whatever we wanted.
That's so cool.
Like they knew. And also like we would rent movies for like weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And he would call and be like, hey, someone else wants to rent that movie. Could you
please
send one of your kids up with it? Because I need to rent it. But we would rent Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I can't believe we didn't buy it. We just rented it all the time.
Yeah,
and
well, why would you buy it when you can have it for free, basically?
Yeah, we paid like $1.99 or whatever, and then had it for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But the parade scene was always my favorite moment as a kid, and we'd get on the coffee table and we'd dance like with Ferris. But watching that scene again as an adult, I had this like unexpected reaction where I started bawling, and I was like, "Whoa." What is going on? And I was
let's
like,
unpack.
Well, it was just so much feeling about how much I enjoyed this movie as a kid. But then I was watching it and I was like, it's one of those pop culture moments that's like trying to, it reminds you that the 80s and 90s, like we see no color. Everybody's beautiful and the same kind of thing. Because they do this like pan of Chicago and you see all these different types of people dancing together.
Yeah, it is very like. It's the first time in the movie that we see black people. I'll say that.
We see two other black folks because we see a black student.
Oh.
In Ben Stein's class.
Okay.
And we see the black nurse. But that is one of the did not age well.
Forgot about
it's
her.
It's fucking Chicago.
It's Chicago. That scene stuck out to me in a way because I said, oh, now this actually looks like Chicago.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's like how white Seinfeld makes New York.
Exactly.
It's the same thing. It's like Chicago is historically a black city. Yeah. It's like a black cultural city. Yeah. And you're right. It's when we actually see the most black folks.
Yeah.
And that was one of the did not age wells for me was there's not a lot of black people in a movie about Chicago.
Like that's why I was so glad when finally it was like there was this like group of people. I won't call them a choir because they weren't
the dance group.
It was a dance group.
Oh, I love the dance group. That was immediately when I started crying because I was like, oh, this is me. I remember enjoying this scene so much, watching people dance together in unison. Mm-hmm. But it's a black dance group.
Yeah.
You see like
at the German American parade.
What is even that parade?
I love it. I love that there was a German American parade in the middle of the week.
That's the other thing is like, it's like on a Wednesday or something. Like, what is going on? And then the girls on the float just go ape shit, crazy, like flipping their skirts up and down. Also, did you know that Don Quixote in that version is by Wayne Newton?
What?
When he was like a kid?
No way.
I thought it was Brenda Lee. But I Googled it, and it's in the credits.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is news to me.
It's bizarre. It's very bizarre. But, that parade scene.
Well, that's so beautiful that you had a moment to really... I think you needed that.
I was, like, examining myself. I was like, why am I crying? Yeah. What is going on? But it was just, like...
Sometimes you just need to.
It just unlocked a thing that I was like, oh, man, I have not felt this in so long. I forgot how much this movie...
It's so beautiful to see people gather together.
Yeah, that was the other thing.
Marching and having a parade for fun.
I think especially I mean, this is like any moment in history to be fair,
Yeah.
but like the feeling of divisiveness in the moment that we're in right now, and the fact that like people are genuinely terrified to leave their homes.
Yeah.
I agree with you. When I saw that, I was like, oh, the carefreeness of this moment, this very also pre 9/11 moment,
Yes,
too, is like this just, I don't know, this unity. It's just like unity, and like how often do we mutually enjoy something in a public space where there's not, people aren't afraid to dance? And
yes,
there was so much good, weird, funny dancing happening in this.
yeah,
The
a lot of it
construction
choreographed.
worker, like, yeah,
Everyone, the entire city of Chicago is dancing.
it's so
People
good.
can hear the music from the 17th floor of the office building. You know what I mean?
Where his dad's
His
just
dad's like yeah, and everyone's just dancing and having fun.
oh, it's so good.
And that's not to say that like public demonstrations aren't important. You know, it's like we gotta get out in the streets when we need to fight against things. But to see people gathered for the German American parade, they're not there. They're not protesting anything.
And then here to watch a teenager lip sync.
Yeah.
To what is it? It's Twist and
Twist and
Shout.
Shout. Yeah. Just to be like, look, we're all having fun on a weekday, and we are in Chicago.
I love
what
that
the
scene.
Chicago of it all. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so John.
It feels
Hughes.
like a very love letter to Chicago movie too.
Yeah,
because
totally.
you see these scenes, you know, like the museum scenes and even the restaurant and the drive. You know, the driving.
They're on the
and-
lake.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. They're on the lake at the very end.
When Cameron's like catatonic.
And then weirdly, Sloane's like, "Did you watch me change out of my
Right.
clothes?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Why did we have to do that?
We didn't
This
have
bummed
to do
me
that.
out."
And I really didn't like how they made like Sloane make the eyes at her boyfriend's dad.
Yeah.
She was like, ooh. I'm like, we didn't need to do that.
I mean, that is a failure. Is like she doesn't get a full character, which is not uncommon for movies.
It's not uncommon for those girls,
You
but
know?
I mean, she's like,
But you still get a sense of who she is, and that's something else I would say is sort of timeless, or like something that really ages well in that movie. Is if you look at Cameron, Ferris, and Sloane's outfits, they're way cooler than they don't look super 80s.
No,
none of them have super 80s hairdos. I would say Jeannie like has the most 80s-ish outfit of like a main character.
Yeah,
but those three outfits you could wear today, and they would look awesome. You could have worn them in the 90s and they would look awesome. I just like, I don't know who did the costume design, but it's one of the
nailed the costume design, and the fact that I think one of the hardest things to do as a costume designer is to work on a movie where it all takes place in one day.
Yeah.
And the way that they nailed it, that the costumes captured everything that they needed to about each character.
Yes.
In one day. So cool.
It's so cool because like her fringe jacket is very 80s, but she's got this like timeless hairdo and like her, I don't know, it's just like it exudes how cool the characters are. Even Cameron you can tell Cameron's cool. You can tell Cameron has good music taste. Like you can just tell. I mean, Ferris is more obvious because the way they decorate his room, there's like a Cabaret Voltaire poster and a Damned poster and like a Simple Minds poster, and you're like, this guy's the coolest, definitely the coolest kid at school.
Totally.
But then you see his outfits and it's like that. I love that vest that he wears. The vest with a white shirt.
Yeah.
And he looks, he's on a parade float. And he looks amazing.
Yeah.
It looks like a Gap ad almost. It's like so, I don't know. It's so timeless. And just like looking back at other movies of that era, it's just not time stamped that way.
And it also, I think, a lot of 80s movies are time stamped in the idea that there is one type of popular guy. Yeah. Like Ferris Bueller, even though he is, he meets all of these conventions of like you know, a guy who can get away with stuff. Like we already said, he's like a white rich kid in the Chicago suburbs. He's good looking, all of that. But like he isn't the like football jock,
No.
you know? He's not meeting the...
He's kind of an everyman.
Yeah.
He's a very rare, like he's a guy that you could see hanging out with like the drama kids, but also was friends with the football players.
The sluts, the geeks, the...
Sportos, motorheads, Bloods. They all adore him.
Yeah.
And it's truly like, he's really like the campus everyman.
Yeah.
And that is such a thing that usually in the 80s, it's always like the nerd. There's just always, you know, the John Cusacks or there's Matthew Broderick.
Right.
Which is like kind of surprising.
Yeah.
When he's the most cool he will ever be in that movie to me. I think that character is like the most cool, but it is like it is again an archetype of this effortlessly cool teenager. It's like almost like a James Dean-y, Dylan McKay kind of thing, but he's not a jerk and he's not he's not like sort of elusive or like, you know what I mean? He's like he's popular. He's like, I don't know how to explain it, but he's not student council, but he's like because he's like the cool, I don't know. He's so cool.
Like he doesn't feel a sense of obligation to anybody but his friends. Like he's kind of like, you know, he does what he wants whenever he wants to, but he doesn't have anyone who is trying to cut down. He's not going to put people in harm's way in order to like get what he wants. Yeah. And it's not at the expense of other people other than like the adults who are
right, but it's not like Jake Ryan in 16 Candles who's just like kind of a piece of shit jock guy who's hot and has a nice car.
Totally.
You know,
and it's like, well, you definitely had to like you've had bad behavior.
He's picked on people.
Yeah, totally.
Ferris doesn't pick on people.
Ferris Bueller does not pick on people. He does not punch down.
No.
He does not punch down, and I love that about him.
Yeah, I think that's also what makes him a really likable, again, a timeless character.
That's why we root for him.
Yeah.
You know? That's why we still root for him. That's why we're like, we don't want him to get caught. If he was Jake Ryan, I would be like, I want that piece of shit to get caught. I'm sorry. I'd be like, he's hot, but he deserves to be humbled.
I mean, Jake Ryan treats his girlfriend like shit.
Yeah.
Like
pimps her out for date rape.
Oh my God. Again, I'm sorry that I said that is my favorite John Hughes movie, 16 Candles. But
it is okay.
It's pretty gnarly when you get down to the...
Oh, it is. People ask me all the time, like, what's a movie that aged bad? And
you're like, go
always
watch
say
this.
16 Candles.
16 Candles, Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, it's tough to watch.
Yeah, it is a tough watch. But this movie doesn't have that.
No, it really doesn't. Again, there's like no random boobs. There's no like anti-feminist I don't know, like jokes. There's no
it's truly sort of apolitical.
It really is.
In an interesting way.
They're at the German American parade having a blast. They're not it's a very like I think because Ferris Bueller is sort of an everyman.
Yeah.
He's someone who we all want to root for.
Yeah. We want him to have a good day. We also don't want him to get caught.
Yeah.
We also love all of the like sort of pranks that he sets up to facilitate his day.
Yes.
The ending chase scene is like one of the best parts of the movie, frankly. But like you're like, you know, you're like, oh my God, is he good? Even though you've seen it, you're like, is he gonna get caught?
You still are like, uh-oh, what are we gonna do?
Also, I didn't realize until I was like researching for this conversation that is not like a sound design for the movie. That is an English beat song. The like da 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 da. And I really did not realize it was like an actual song. But there's also, in true John Hughes fashion, there's sound effects layered on top of it that make it work so good. But that the choreography of that chase scene is perfect.
Again, it's the John Hughes hijinks.
Yes.
There's got to be a goofy chase scene
where like all these different things have to happen in the right timing for it to work. And like his mom screaming at Jeannie while she's driving like a total lunatic. Yeah. And Jeannie's just like on cloud 9 because she just met the hottest weird guy she's ever met in her life. And then they go over to the dad who's just like behind the grandma. Also, elderly people in John Hughes movies are the butt of like every joke.
They are disposable.
They are totally disposable.
It's like, LOL, she's old.
The lady driving and she can't see over the steering wheel, but like all that is happening in succession. Or like when he jumps the fence and there's like hot girls sunbathing.
Yeah, again, it's a weekday.
It's a weekday.
But I don't care because it's like we're a little removed from reality.
Yeah, for sure.
Enough removed that I'm not in the moment being like, but they wouldn't be there. It's a weekday.
Yeah, you're like, oh, wait, of course. He has to go back and charm someone for a second.
Duh.
Ferris Bueller. Hi, nice to meet you, Ferris Bueller. And then he like keeps going. It's so good.
Yeah. Oh, it really is. I have to return to one other thing that I completely forgot.
Yeah.
And it's really not that big of a deal. But again, when we're talking about Ferris Bueller's Day Off, there's not a ton to criticize.
Fair.
When they're going up to the garage attendant who's going to be watching the car, and the first thing he says is, "Do you speak English?" I was like, bitch.
I know. That also, again, felt like a very 80s. There's actually two moments where that happens because Jeannie screams that it at the 911 operator as well. And that is such a white person thing to do.
To be like, this guy is working class. Also, it's like another like vaguely white guy. Like he's a white presenting guy.
Is he vaguely ethnic too?
Right.
Ferris?
I don't know.
But I do love that he goes, "What country do you think this is?" Like, and that guy's such a good character actor. I was looking him up. I can't remember his name, but he was the original drummer for Sonic Youth.
No way.
I know. Weird
That's
stuff.
so cool.
Weird stuff.
Okay, you know what I also loved is when he and his friend, one of the other black people in this movie.
Yes. The one garage attendant guy. Yeah.
Okay, so they're driving in the car. They're having a joyride, and his friend is the one that at first looks terrified, and then his look turns into glee. He's joyful. And it's like, no matter what, at any age, at any stage in life, you're going to have your Ferris Buellers and your Camerons, and one of them is going to be scared and one of them's going to be like, okay, let's just do this. And a joyride is going to be a blast no matter who you are, where you are, where you come from. Everyone's going to have that moment to relate to.
This feeling of like, we're doing something we're not supposed to do, but it's like really not hurting anybody.
Right.
So also, it's again, John Hughes movies are a lot of series of vignettes. And that is another one of those where you could see a scene with those guys and not need to know anything else about the movie. Also, I feel like, do they play like the Star Wars theme?
Now I can't remember.
I feel like when they're first like taking the car and taking it out, and it's like another one of those like audio cues that John Hughes does to be like,
totally,
this is gonna be fucking out of this world. And it is, and it's just a moment with these two characters that we don't know anything about.
Yeah,
that's one thing I love too about John Hughes movies is side characters are so interesting. Yeah, even when they don't. Maybe they have 3 lines, or maybe the girl that picks up the phone and talks to Ferris Bueller, or the 2 guys that are like, that get the phone first. And it's like, oh shit, I hope Ferris isn't really going to die because he's going to get me out of summer school. Right. And you're like, I want to know more about that guy. Like,
exactly.
The side characters are almost as good as, like, they could be their own thing.
Exactly. Like, there could be a spinoff about any person in this movie.
Oh, totally.
And you know what? I'm so glad. This reminds me when I said spinoff, I'm so glad that there is no sequel.
I agree.
If this movie had a sequel, it would suck. And actually, I think that they tried to do a sitcom in the 90s.
No.
And it was like based on Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Obviously, John Hughes was not involved at all.
No.
But it flopped, obviously.
Oh my God.
And I think that it's just like this. I don't think that Ferris Bueller's Day Off could get made today because the breaking of the fourth wall doesn't really happen in feature films anymore. It's really more of like a TV mockumentary thing. Something like this wouldn't get funded because it's just one standalone piece. It has no potential for sequels.
Especially at the level that John Hughes was making movies at versus like this would be like a more arty, I don't know, early Wes Anderson level film if it was going to be made in current day.
Right.
But I agree with you.
Yeah.
It just could not. How would you sell this?
How would you sell it?
You know?
The way that people sell similar movies is by saying, "Oh, it's like Ferris Bueller's Day Off."
Right.
I mean,
it truly is. That's a really good point. And Yeah, I agree. The standalone nature of it is what makes it really beautiful because you don't
Right.
need to know anything else.
And I don't want to.
I'm not curious. I
No.
love the look into this
Mhm.
world that I get for
Yeah.
one day,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just one of those things that was like written and it doesn't need to be expounded upon anymore. And I
No.
also read that like John Hughes wrote the first 50 pages of the script in one night because there was a writer strike coming.
Yeah, so he was just like,
So he's like, oh, excuse me, let me just make this fucking amazing movie.
yeah. In like a week. He was just like,
yeah.
all right, here it is.
And it's, I never thought about that, but you're totally
Yeah.
right. I don't want any more.
I don't want more
I
because
just want this.
the fact is, this is a movie about a specific moment in time that is so fleeting, and it's really like you got to make the most of it. It is carpe diem.
Yeah.
And if we add on to it, it completely ruins the entire concept that we started with, which was you're young and you got to like live it up on this last day. This is your last year. It's senior year. You can't follow that up.
Like, I don't want to know what the fallout of Cameron's dad's car going through the window. I don't want to know what happens with Jeannie and Charlie Sheen's character. His name is Garth Volbeck or something.
Yeah.
I had to Google
Garth.
it. I know, which is great because
So
he was
funny.
actually had a whole side story that they cut out.
Oh yeah, the director's cut of this was originally, it was like 2.5 hours, which honestly I could have watched.
I mean, I could, but this is where every good piece of art has had editing done to it, I think.
Yes, I agree.
And the editing on this movie made it perfect.
Yes.
Because it didn't need to be. We didn't need any more.
Right. Like I remember reading that there was a deleted scene where they ate like French food where they were like, ew, gross. And they ate pancreas. And that's why when he says in the limo, we ate pancreas, not the limo,
in the cab,
in the cab, I'm mixing up Home Alone 2, of course, with, of course.
When he eats pizza in a cab.
Common mistake. So, yeah, and he says, like, we ate pancreas. And it's not, I'm not like, wait, what? I didn't see that. It's like,
we knew they went to a fancy restaurant. And the best part of that is not what they were eating. It was that he had that interaction with the maitre d'.
Yeah, exactly.
Abe Froman, the sausage king
sausage
of
king.
Chicago. To get snooty.
Yeah.
Oh, that's again a side character I would watch more of.
I
want
would
to
watch
know
more of
about
him.
that.
I would watch more
I want
of
to
him.
watch that man run that restaurant.
Me too. I want to know. I want to know who his boss is. I want to know what made him like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
I want to know more about him. I want to see a day in the life. I want to see his day.
Oh, he's such a good character.
Oh, it's so good.
I was like, I took a bunch of notes. I'm trying to think if there's anything
yeah, let's
else.
see what else we might need to discuss. Okay.
I watched this last night. My husband didn't tell me till after we watched it that it was the first time he'd watched the movie.
No way.
And the funniest part is he goes, I thought this was the movie where the guy stands outside with the boombox. And I was like, this is where our 6-year age difference is so painful to me, where
Absolutely.
I'm like, I am Gen X and you are a millennial. But my 4-year-old goes, Mom, why are grown-ups going to high school? And I was like, well,
Classic.
they're playing teenagers and like, it's always bad. I mean, Grease is like the greatest example of like
God, of course.
40-year-olds in high school.
Yeah.
But like, I was reading Sloane was the actress that played Mia Sarah was 18.
Yeah.
But
I think she was the youngest of all of them.
Because I think Ferris or Matthew Broderick's like 26 or something.
mid-20s, and then Alan
Ruck.
Yeah, Alan Ruck.
Cameron is.
He's a baby face though. He was
29.
It's so funny.
It's like Andrea on 90210 who was 30 when she was playing high
It's like,
schooler.
but he looked the most like a high schooler out of everybody.
Yeah, he does. He does have a baby face. But I did find that funny when my son pointed that out. I was like, movies.
Yeah, movies.
This is how movies go, son.
Sometimes your 4-year-old is the one who says the wisest
He's a
thing.
real truth bomb guy.
I love that. I love that about kids. I did read that there was an earlier version of the movie that Sloane said to Cameron something. They were like talking about their future, and they got very low scores among young female viewers during the screen test, where she said a girl can always bail out and have a baby and get some guy to support her. And they were like, oh, everyone hated that. And they were like, oh, it was meant to be an ironic criticism of gender politics, one of the producers said. But
you're like, but you don't give her enough for us to work off of as a character for it to know if that would be.
How would we know that that's ironic? How would we know?
Yeah, we don't
know her. She is woman.
Like, honestly, I thought she was French when I was a kid because she doesn't really talk that much, and she has a kind of a weird accent. Not really. She's from New York.
Yeah.
But like, you just don't get that much from her.
Right.
That would have bummed me out.
Yeah. So I'm glad that they
cut that.
I'm glad that they did that because she didn't have to be put into that little box. And the young female test scores went up 40 points when they removed it. So yeah, pretty cool that by cutting a single line, they made it way better.
Because I mean, I think you would remember that line and be like, wait a minute.
Ew, what? Why did she say that?
Like, it's like even the conversation they have when they're in the stock exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you want to get married? And she's like, no. And he's like, I mean, other than you being the only cheerleader with a husband, it wouldn't be that weird. And I was like, okay, this is pretty cute.
Yeah, it was funny.
It feels like kind of cute, although I never at any point other in that point in the movie think that Ferris is that serious about her.
No.
You know?
And I mean, I think that because he is so laissez-faire about everything in life, when he does that fourth wall break and says, and I would marry her. But, I won't.
The fourth wall breaking is interesting.
Yeah.
I almost forgot about it until I watched it again as an adult. And I was like, wow, this is a strange thing.
That was something I was going to ask you as actually, I mean, now we're coming up on an hour. It probably could be a perfect time to ask you. Cancel or call back the fourth wall break? Do we need to bring that back in our movies?
I'm trying to remember when else it works well. I don't have enough. I don't watch a ton of movies. I'm the person that watches the same five. It's so funny. You had one of my best friends, Keith Garcia, on.
Yeah.
And he has like gently forced me to watch so many. He's so
like,
good at it.
Like it.
But he also will be like, I'm going to tell you the plot of this movie because I know that you won't go see it. And I'm like, you are correct.
He knows you.
He's my gateway to so many. I love to tell him all the movies I've never seen because
he's like your movie fairy godmother.
He is, and he doesn't judge me for not having. He's not like, oh my god, you haven't seen. He's like, oh,
that's why he is the one who should be the doing what he does. Oh, because. You know what? If I was like, oh, well, the person who picks the movies for the C Film Center is going to be like, you haven't seen blah, blah, blah.
He has none of that.
None of that. So humble. He just wants to share it because he just loves it so much.
And he contextualizes movies. And I just brought him up because I'm like, God, he's probably would listen to this and be like, there's 10 movies.
I know, off the top of his head, he'd be like, in the past 3 years, these are the movies that.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think when it happens, but. What I thought about that part of the movie was I could take or leave it and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
I think that it works, but it doesn't detract from it in any way, but it's not necessarily, I wouldn't miss it.
I also felt pretty neutral about it. Like, I think that it's fun. It's something a little different. And I think that the way that they incorporate it into like the post credits where it's like the movie's over,
You're still here?
It's just like, it's cute. It's a cute, funny little thing that brings a little bit more joy to the movie, but I don't know that it adds so much that I would really miss it if it was gone.
Yeah, because it's like a lot of like procedural, him just telling you how he's doing things, like especially with like how he's tricking his parents. Like the part where he's like, oh, you don't want to go with a fever that'll end you, and you get you got a nervous mom, you end up in the doctor's office. And like it is pretty funny, but it's like I don't know if it's necessary. It's cute though.
It's cute.
And the singing in the shower part, obviously. And like his comments on fascism and like which is also kind of empty commentary, but it's still like pretty cute.
It's cute.
I guess you get a little. I think if Ferris Bueller wasn't if the character and Matthew Broderick in this moment wasn't like so cute and likable, it might be
Yeah.
annoying.
It would be annoying if he wasn't likable because, of
Yeah.
course, when you're watching this, you're like, oh, I want that guy to be my friend.
Totally.
And so I understand the appeal of being like, oh, it's like he's just talking to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But is it something that I hope filmmakers bring back? I don't know that I need it. I think it's kind of fun when they do, but it's only done well every so often.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, I think that when I see a fourth wall break, it makes me think of, no offense, the Disney Channel.
Sure.
Where they're like, I bet you wonder how I got here.
Oh. I have a sister my sister's always 14 years younger than me, and she's like Disney Channel era kid.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because she grew up on all that shit. And I'm like, I cannot watch this stuff.
Yeah.
I just can't. But also, I was like a teenager to adult when she was watching that stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Not her fault.
It's not her fault.
I'm
that
like,
she's
I
young.
was literally watching cable be invented, so she got the better. Like, we were talking about, like, E-News or something was going off the air, and I was like, I just want everyone to know that I saw the first day that the channel existed.
Wow. That's big. And it's not your younger sibling's fault for being born later.
My first day of high school.
Yeah.
It's not her fault.
Not her fault for that.
I was like, oh, cool. Mom goes into labor and she's supposed to take me to school.
Yeah.
Great.
Great.
Thanks a lot, Zoe. Your grandma had to take me to school.
Yeah.
But she's fine. My sister is lovely. She's an EMT.
Yeah.
She's out saving people's lives every day.
And God bless her for it.
I know. Her and my mom's been an ER nurse for 51 years.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I couldn't rip a Band-Aid off without
nope.
throwing up. I don't know how they do what they do.
But could not be me.
I'm like, I decided to do journalism.
I'm like, I could write about it.
I know. I'm like,
I'll report on the accident, but I will not be there.
Can't look at it, can't hear about it.
Yeah, totally.
So,
yeah.
You know, it's so funny.
There are some jobs. Okay, I feel as though sometimes people in writing, in media are like, yeah, I'm like the modern truth teller. I'm like saving lives by like, bringing the news to the people. And it's like, there are some jobs that are literally more important, like EMTs are.
Yeah.
I'm afraid it's not the same.
No.
An ER nurse is just not the same.
Truly. I'm like, my brother is a mailman. Like, he delivers your mail.
Yeah, like, you need the mail.
You need the mail. You don't really need my blog.
Like, I love to think that you do need my blog.
Yeah, if you're missing my live journal or my MySpace blogs,
totally,
I'm sure
my
they
Zanga.
gave you life.
My music blog when I was 14.
Oh,
you know
God.
how it goes. You know how it goes?
I do. Oh, God. I have so many dead blogs.
Oh, my God. Me too. I think it would be fun to one day when I've got, a few days off, maybe I'll take a Ferris Bueller's day off and just try and track down on the internet where.
I don't want to see them.
Leave it in the past.
I don't need to see any of them. Please don't.
Don't have to
I
do
wrote
it.
so many regrettable things.
Oh, God. I mean, as I did too. I recently went through a bunch of my old stuff because I'm getting ready to do the Mortified show.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Oh my gosh. I cannot wait.
Oh, it's so
I'm
fun.
So excited. But going through some of my old stuff and like the things that I wrote in earnest, especially in high school, like a lot of the creative work, I'm like, girl.
The self-seriousness.
The way that
were you like a poetry person? Or were you
all of it.
Okay.
All of it. The way that any adult in my life would have been like, yeah, you should go into writing. I'm like, you guys should have. That's insane that you got it. Someone should have stopped me. I can't believe that anyone read that and thought, yeah, go ahead.
I had an editorial called In Defense of the Spice Girls published in my school newspaper.
Incredible.
So, I did Mortified, and I read my diary about
amazing.
I had a dream that Kurt Cobain and I did heroin at the mall. So I was really seriously in love with him.
Of course.
He's a Pisces. It was a big deal.
Yeah. That's why he feels things like that.
Yeah, and then I went and married a Pisces musician, so you know.
And he's still alive.
Yes, and he's still alive because he did not do drugs, hard drugs. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. People are like, and your husband's on tour? Like, how do you do? I'm like, I actually have like the most chill.
Yeah.
he's like a life of the party guy, but he's not a partier. He calls me, tells me what's going on.
Totally.
He's not like a reckless. I don't know. I think people think a thing about touring musician.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I bet he's he's a different guy. It's like he's still the same guy.
It's literally his job. He takes it very seriously.
He's like good at his job.
And people are like, oh, do you go on tour with your husband? I'm like, do you go to work with your husband?
Right.
I don't.
Like, I have a job too.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I have a job. It's called podcasting.
It's called podcasting. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
So my mom's so proud of me. Actually, my mom listens to the show every day.
Oh, she does?
She does, which is sweet.
So cool.
Except I had to tell her to stop giving me feedback. Every day she would text me.
I am so glad. At first I used to, so when I started this podcast, my mom would listen to the episodes and it was sweet. And then
really sweet.
And then I eventually was like really glad when she kind of stopped. I could tell when she stopped because she like stopped giving feedback.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, good.
Like I was like, I love you, Brooke, but I cannot get feedback every day.
Yeah.
And my aunt listens every day and she's so sweet, but she'll just text me and she'll be like, there was it sounded like the ad break was in a weird place or something. And I'll be like, oh my God, thank you. Like she tells me that kind of stuff.
Totally.
But I just, I'm like, I love my family that they're supportive.
Yes.
But I don't.
We don't.
I have enough haters. I'm good. No, I'm kidding. My family's not haters.
Your family's up in the comments like this dumb bitch. Should have been an EMT like your sister.
Some of my family members have told me that they lurk like on our subreddits and stuff.
No way.
Yeah, just to see what's going on because I don't look at that stuff.
Yeah, totally. They're like, I just got to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Make sure no one's like doxing you.
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah.
I've kind of removed myself from the internet from that level of scrutiny, luckily. But I did go through that when I was on Twitter. But
but now
Twitter's
dead.
Peace.
So
I left Twitter in 2023.
Yeah.
After being on it since it started 2008.
Wow. Oh,
I know.
So tragic.
It is. But you know what? It's good to have a life.
You know what? Now look at us. Look at us. Now we have lives. Not burdened by what people on Twitter think.
I know. After someone called me fat for supporting abortion access, I was like, you know what? I'm done.
It's enough.
Here.
That's enough.
I'm good. It's fine that you think that, but that's not related to my opinion.
Right.
So,
I mean, but anytime a woman has an opinion, she is ugly.
Oh, ugly, stupid, fat. Yeah. Just like, what a, yeah. Old.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah. I've heard it all before.
Heard about it. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
New stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's why we have to enjoy every moment while we're young.
That's true. That ship sailed, baby.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. You cannot hurt me with your words like that.
I do not care.
We just don't care.
No.
But if you do have positive things to say, write a review or write something
please.
really nice in the comments.
I think folks don't realize that like nice comments and rating and reviewing actually helps us a lot as podcasters.
It really does.
It's
You're
not
probably
a lie.
thinking, what? I'm not made of money. I can't pay you guys. Well, guess what? Pay us with your time by taking 30 seconds and writing the nicest thing that you can think of.
Yes.
You know?
Tell a friend.
And tell a friend.
Listen
Say,
to
I
the
heard
show.
the funniest thing the other day on this podcast. You'd love it. Or they'll say, I heard the most interesting piece of news. Local news.
It was fascinating.
It was fascinating. Listen to the interview. I'll send it to you. Send them a link.
Send them a link, please.
It's that easy to send them a link. And then they'll report back to you with the homework that they did. And that's like one of the best feelings ever is when you send a friend a thing and then they tell you.
Actually listen to it.
So use that as a way to bond with your friends, everybody. Bree, thank you so much for coming on the show. And I want you to know that Ferris Bueller's Day Off was a very popular choice right after you were like, we should do it.
Really?
Yeah. I had David and his partner on and they were like,
David
can
from
I
Mortified?
Yeah. And they were like, oh, can we do Ferris Bueller's Day Off? I said, sorry, my girl's already claimed it.
I know I sent you a list of real bananas movies and I was like, I don't know where she wants to go with this.
I loved it all. We could have gone in any of those directions, but I'm so glad that we went in this one.
This was thank you for inviting me. And this was such a lovely experience because I don't get the opportunity to talk about popular culture in my everyday work life in an in-depth way. And I don't really ever talk about movies movies, and
Yeah.
it was revisiting this movie just brought up so many wonderful feelings that just, I don't know, I got to revisit something from my childhood that I hadn't thought about in a long time, and it was really enjoyable. It was like a nice, the research was really fun.
That is so fun. That's what we want here is fun homework.
Oh,
we
it's
want
the best
you to,
homework.
We want you to come on this show and say, wow, that was a perfect excuse to watch this thing I love watching.
I need to talk about the costume design of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Thank you so much.
And get me a microphone to do it.
Oh, also, real quick, Louis Anderson cameo.
Yes.
Did you notice? Okay,
Yes.
I just noticed this. I'm sure everybody's like, no shit, Bree. But
Keith is in the background like,
being
yeah,
like,
Bree,
come
I
on.
knew that.
I'm such a Louis Anderson fan. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, if John Candy had been in this movie, it would have been perfect.
Oh my gosh,
He's
yes.
I actually have a John Candy tattoo.
You do?
Because my old band had a song called John Candy's. Long
That's
story.
cool.
But
I
I
love that.
love John Candy so. I love
Me too.
SCTV alum, period.
Yep, me too.
But the Louis Anderson cameo is really fun. Also, this is Christy Swanson's first speaking part.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I guess she had a non-speaking part in like Pretty in Pink or something.
Huh.
But she's Simone.
Oh, yeah,
The beginning. My best friend's sister's boyfriend's brother's girlfriend knows this guy who saw this knows this kid who saw Ferris pass out at 31 Flavors last night. Yeah. I guess it's pretty serious. Thank you, Simone. No problem whatsoever.
No problem whatsoever.
Oh, and Ben Stein in that movie is good.
Oh my God.
Anyway, but
the perfect casting.
Those were just like some fun other people we didn't talk about.
Oh my gosh, yes. There's so many other fun people that we didn't talk about.
Yeah.
And so many other fun things. I mean, look, we've been at this for an hour 20 and I feel like we could keep going for another 5 hours.
This was great.
Oh, this was so great. Thank you again so much. And everyone, go check out CityCast Denver.
Yes, please.
Recorded, right here at Dude IDK Studios.
We record every Thursday. Our Friday show is the one that we put out, the video version, but you can listen to the audio version 5 days a week.
Yep.
CityCast Denver, wherever you get your podcasts. We talk about Denver in all aspects, from the food to the politics to, I mean, all kinds of things, transportation issues, construction. Oh my God, the best hamburgers. Like, literally, we've been doing this show for 4.5 years.
Yeah.
So we cover a lot of Denver. But if you're interested in learning more about Denver, or being involved in Denver's story a little bit, just check us out.
Just check it out.
Yeah.
Send it to a friend.
Yeah. Please rate and review us. Be
just
nice.
go ahead and rate and review and be nice. Give it a little thumbs up on YouTube. Hi, Winnie.
Winnie's like, you guys are done.
Winnie's like, are you done? Are you done yet? Okay, everyone say goodbye to Winnie. Bye-bye. Bye, Winnie.
So cute.